everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chef Talk. I'm your host, Brianna Williams, and on today's episode of Chef Talk, we'll be discussing the art of adulting, particularly in the kitchen. The goal of today's discussion is to help students transitioning from college to the real world with preparing kitchen essentials for their apartments or homes. We'll be discussing different pantry staples that are essential for young adults living alone for the first time, as well as giving you tips on how to navigate through this newfound freedom that comes with life after college. So for today's discussion, we have a special guest, Ms. Laverne Walsh, who is the food service director at Tuskegee University, joining us today. Welcome, Laverne, and thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you on today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So Laverne has tons of experience in the kitchen, so we know that she has some great tips for you guys on what you'll need to build your pantry and just navigating through this new freedom that you're going to be coming into after you graduate college. So let's go ahead and jump right into our discussion with the first question. So Laverne, before we even get into the kitchen items themselves, we just want to give an overview. So what do you wish you had known when living on your own for the first time?
I wish I would have known that my dad would no longer be my support because living on your own, you have to budget and you have to learn how to budget and you have to take it serious. You have to know what you're going to get, know what you're going to need more so than what you want. So I really wish that I would have paid attention to my father and my mother when they said that when you get on your own, you'll see the difference, because I'm one of the ones that always wanted everything more so than needed anything. So living on your own for the first time really will definitely set those boundaries to say, oh my gosh, I wish I would have really listened to my father and my mother.
Definitely. That's great advice. And, that is something that's super important for students that are planning to move out for their first time. Keeping a budget in mind is so important into your success and how you live once you move out on your own. And so definitely something to keep in mind as we go into food and grocery shopping. You definitely want to have a budget prepared when going into that when you're moving out to your first place. So moving on to the next question, what are a few pantry staples that you would suggest that every young adult have in their first home?
Oh, wow. So, of course, noodles. Noodles are really cheap and really easy to make. You can use a microwave. It's really, really, really good. You can add your seasonings, your blends, however you would like it. I would also suggest making sure that you have bread, making sure that you have some type of deli meat, turkey, ham, whatever your preference is, hot dogs, eggs, cheese, things that you know that you'll be able to eat and enjoy, whether it's in the morning or at night. So those are some of the things that I think that you should always have. Don't forget butter. Everybody needs butter. And ensure that you have water. Water is definitely something that you would always need when you're on your own, as opposed to drinking a lot of juice and soda. You're going to balance it because you're eating a lot of high sodium products. So you're going to make sure that you kind of flush the system a bit. So the water would definitely be a great one.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you for that. And yeah, you're right. So definitely I would suggest, having items on hand that are versatile and things that, you can make into different things. So you mentioned, bread, butter, eggs, all those things, you can have and incorporate into many different meals. And they're, like you said, they're staple items. They're something that you should have in your house. Of course, dietary, keeping in mind your dietary restrictions, but you can take those few items, they're cheap and they're easily accessible, and transform those into a lot of different meals. So definitely thank you for that. But in addition to pantry staples, what are some basic kitchen tools or equipment that you would suggest adults to have in their first apartments?
Always keep paper towel, dish detergent. I would always say keep laundry detergent. That's something that you would definitely need. Toothpaste, things of that nature, personal hygiene items as well. Anything that's going to be simple. You don't want to go above and beyond because you have to be reminded that you may not have a stove. You may just be using a microwave. So anything that would help keep everything clean and safe for you is definitely a win.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And also, as far as kitchen too, I thought a couple of other good things too, as far as staple equipment and tools, maybe just a set of mixing bowls or a cutting board, baking sheets, just simple, kitchen tools that, you can do tons of different things with. And so we really want to keep it basic here and make sure that you at least have the bare bone,
Yes.
bare essentials of exactly what you would need to start out in cooking. And even if you're not a great cook, even if you only know how to make a few things, which we'll get into next, it'll be good to have those items on hand and help you out. And so in terms of, like we just talked about, in terms of cooking, the first time for yourself, a lot of students, they've come from being at home or they've been used to staying on campus. So they're not necessarily used to preparing their own meals. So Laverne, what are a few simple meal ideas that you would suggest students to learn how to make when living alone for the first time?
I'm going to refer right back to the first thing I said, noodles. You cannot go wrong with noodles. If you do sandwiches, as long as you have your bread, maybe a few condiments, maybe mayo, mustard, whatever your preference is, and cheese, you will be great. Simple things that you can cook also is put in the oven or the microwave would be Hot Pockets. You can do personal pizzas, you can do whole pizzas, whatever your preference, as well as frozen items such as the hot wings. Everybody love wings, so that's a favorite, and you can pop those in the oven and or the microwave. And a lot of the sandwiches that are already created for you to just actually microwave would be something that's very simple for someone that's just moving out on their own and have no clue because mom or dad always made those meals for them. That's quick, easy, and it is relatively cheap.
Definitely. And especially for young professionals who are always on the go and super busy, those items that you mentioned are really great for something quick and convenient for them to grab and go and take with them. And if you're looking to get a little more advanced, you can go over to our YouTube channel. We have TH Teaches, our chef Torian, is teaching you how to prepare staple items from scratch. So he's going to be taking chicken breast in one of our episodes of TH Teaches and making that into a grilled chicken breast with broccoli and mashed potatoes. So definitely go over to our YouTube channel and check that out if you haven't already, for a nice basic meal to learn if this is your first time cooking from home. And so last but not least, let's go into grocery shopping. So this is something we could have started with, but students who are looking to, go out there, they have a new place, they're going to the grocery store for the first time. What are a couple of things that you would suggest or tips that you have for students when going grocery shopping to get the most out of their shopping trip for the first time?
The best tip in the world is to make sure you have time. This is not something that can be done really, really quick. You have to have time because what you want to do is go down every aisle and you want to shop for convenience. You want to shop for the cheapest product. So you want everything to be cost effective, but you want great quality product as well. So every time I go to the grocery store, I always go down every single aisle, even if it's something that I'm not going to purchase, just to make sure that I have viewed everything in the store and I don't forget anything. And I'm budgeting, so I have my calculator out and I'm doing all of that. So before I get to the register, it's not a shock for me to know how much I'm going to spend or I'm about to spend, but I also ensure that I have everything that I need. So again, the best tip is to make sure you have time and go down every aisle.
That is great. And like you said, budgeting, of course, is another big thing, like you said before. And make sure you go in with a list. Definitely make it a little easier because for someone, if you're not used to grocery shopping, it can be a lot to go in and just see all these different products everywhere and to start. Definitely go in with a list and definitely don't go hungry. That's one tip I've always heard. Definitely eat before you go to the grocery store because then you're buying based off of what looks good to you right now. But as you're planning out your meals for the week, if you decide to meal prep maybe, or just planning out what you're looking for, it'll make it easier to definitely go in with a list and stick to what it is that you came in for.
And that may work for everybody, but for me, I tried the list and before maybe 10 minutes into the list, I'm balling the paper up. So that's why I chose going down every aisle. But the list definitely works for a lot of people, because I do notice that, other people in the stores do have a list and they actually go by and that's all they get. So that's definitely a good one as well.
Yeah, definitely. And just one more thing to add to that, it can get overwhelming, of course, when you're first starting and moving into your own. But keep in mind that, you don't have to you don't have to get everything right there. You can get your staple items like we talked about in this video, then come back once you have different meal ideas or different things you're wanting to try at home. But definitely, take your time and enjoy the process.
Yes.
Try to make it as stress-free as possible. So, Laverne, I want to thank you again. You gave some really good pointers and advice to all of our students out there watching. And we hope that we've been able to help some of the young adults out there who are transitioning from college, moving into the real world and getting out on their own. Definitely be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, THTV, to see more videos of Chef Talk and then other episodes that we have coming to our THTV YouTube channel. So again, thank you, Laverne, for being on tonight.
My pleasure.
Williams, and this has been another episode of Chef Talk. We'll see you next time.